So today we're going to talk about perp dexes, and they seem to be the major thing at the moment. And I wanted to do my review and my thoughts on them. So I've opened some trades on some of them just to illustrate how they all work. Pretty much your leverage trading. Most people like leverage trading. Now, Asta Dex I dislike for two reasons. Now, it does have an advantage, like it's one of the only platforms that has US users. Now, I opened a trade up here, as you can see here, and it automatically put me down 6%. Now, I'm not using crazy leverage, I'm using 75 leverage. I shorted gold, but with a very small amount, just to illustrate. I think it's like $20, something like that. But it automatically put my trade down. Jupiter does the same. And to me, that's like it automatically puts you at a loss. Now, the advantage is it does give you a bit of a wide sort of leverage liquidation level, which is okay. So if you're doing long trades, and you don't mind being down and you've got major conviction on your trade, definitely use Asta. The only thing is you must be on BNB or Arbitrum. Now, I have BNB. I don't really mess about on Arbitrum, and not many people do. There's not many people that use it. Same with Hyperliquid. The only downside of Hyperliquid is I would certainly recommend it if you're not in the US and you like Arbitrum. Again, you're forced to use the Ethereum layer 2, which I dislike. So I started to look. I said there must be a good one on Solana. And I played about with a few, and this is the one I came up with. It's Drift. So I looked into it. I'm also thinking about doing a spot buy because if BNB and Ethereum have their sort of number one perp decks, this is like the next thing is probably going to be Solana pushing out Drift. Now, if the Solana Foundation have a vested interest in Drift or they own it, then they're going to start pushing it out. You're going to see the names on Solana, and Solana has more users. It has a bigger audience. So I'm thinking 250 mil market cap, 600 or 700 fully diluted. It could go to a billion. It could top Asta. Now, they don't have as much power as CZ does, but could it do well on here? Could I yield farm it long term? Is this going to die overnight? Probably not. Perpses are doing pretty well. So I would definitely recommend Drift, in my opinion. If you had to use the free, this Solana Dex is really good. I opened it, it gave me an entry, fees are pretty low. I haven't really looked at funding rate. That's the only thing. I've got no idea how to even find it on here. But for now, funding rates are important. I'll tell you why. Because if you don't look at funding rates, then probably you're in a position where you're like, okay, you could actually be eating into a lot of your balance. So if you do 100x leverage on this, let's say XPL, if you do 100x leverage, that's 6% a year that it equals to. And that's basically what you're paying in funding. That can go up and down, but in comparison, it's slightly more than Binance. Yeah, so you have to kind of be aware of these. These won't matter, but if you're holding a position for long term, you need to look at this. So, for example, this will be a 4% interest per year, basically, you're going to pay on funding. So, if you're holding a long position, be aware of those because they can eat it in. But they're pretty much all the same. In my opinion, definitely, I'll put a link in the description for all three of these if you want to check them out. You're probably signed up to them. But Drift on Solana is probably what I'm going to be using, in my opinion. You've got 100x leverage, which is fine. Deposit was pretty smooth. I put in $10 or $20, and I'm going to do a sizable deposit soon. Best of all, they have no fees on a lot of them as well. So that's why, hence why I opened a little BTC trade. So they've got zero fees on ETH, short it definitely, and because going to zero, and definitely look at here. So 100x, 100x, 100x. Even on Solana, they got 100x as well. So I would like them to start listing the low caps, but they don't. It's all got the big sort of dead, no movement coins, like big market caps. I need them to start to list ones that I can actually short. So until then, I'll use Mexi for those ones, and I wish you all the best and take care.